Hi everybody. So, do you know so many people, whenever you ask somebody, a friend, they say they forget so many things and they don't find time for this thing, that thing. They don't even find time for their personal development. They don't even realize that it is a necessity. How many of you are like that? So, if you don't invest time in your personal development, and how do you know when the personal development is a much needed requirement? You know, it happens when you don't find time for anything except going to office and coming back, and then you say that you have some home assignment. Of course you have your responsibility towards your family, and maybe there are social engagement also. And with this regular kind of routine, maybe you are in a comfort zone. You feel at times that there is pain, but there is not enough time, simply no time. So what to be done? So life has to be like that. And so many people, you must have seen that they are feeling hopeless after some time. So they must have been telling you that life would have been different if they would have done this or they would have done that. And they also compare themselves with many people, maybe. But do you know, right now, here is the time, there is a simple tweak which you can do to your career to make your career interesting and also to make your life meaningful. So that is what I call as strategizing a career. Of course, it requires some investment of time, of course, and also some money. But if you are not investing in those kind of things, then you will be losing time. And you know, the other day I was, it is not only Gyan. You you realize that the hard way, right? So everything is happening, so everything. So I was speaking to somebody today, and he was telling that Bhagwan ki daya se everything is going great. I try to probe that is a very blessed state to have. Each of you, I would like to have that blessed state also. But I will ask you something. Are you really thinking that you are achieving your life's purpose? Everything externally is going great, of course. So many friends of mine have been saying that they are in US, they own cars, they have their own houses, they have their own land, they have a lot of money, but they are missing something which they can't describe. They can't figure out what is it. So when everything is going great, what is it that you are missing? From my experience, I would say there is a small gap between expectation and reality. Whatever is happening in your reality is huge, right? You are achieving a lot, but your expectation of yourself is something else, maybe a little beyond whatever you are thinking. And that gap is not allowing you to have a kind of good night's sleep. And because that is not happening, you are trying to indulge yourself in something else, which you call as prestigious engagement. You are being asked by people, you are being respected by people, you are invited to their important ceremonies, all that, right? But what about that little bit of thing that you expected of yourself and you haven't been able to achieve? So that is where I have figured out that I figured out it for myself. And I'll tell you another thing also. The expectation of self will be huge when you don't figure it out on pen and paper, when you haven't figured it out in your mind. That small thing, small tweak requires a huge amount of figuring out everything around you. But eventually, that is a small thing which will satisfy you. You agree with that? So, I thank you, everybody, whoever is watching this and whoever is becoming inquisitive about this, right? So, I had a presentation in which I would have asked you so many questions. Let me share the screen actually. Let me share the screen and tell you. Many people I have reached out to, they think, let me share the screen. What would you do? Like, say, when I asked, many people reached out to me saying that communication is vital. Some other people also told me that creating like, say, not they are not able to do a meaningful execution of their life. Some other people say that they everything is going great, but it is like not finding a value, all those things. So whatever I have figured out from that is, when you say communication is more than English, when you say that communication is very essential, and these are the pain point that you will be getting, no, communication is more than English, and that is what you will be getting from here. You will know how communication is more than English, and creating success metrics given all your parameter, that whatever you are doing, just that you need to organize into a matrix so that people can figure out as to what has been your journey. And then top line and bottom line, everything you are doing, anybody else could have done. So that is the bottom line. And top line is what you have been doing, what your role has achieved for the company. Creating a legacy, because you are very different a person, so you will be creating a legacy which is very different than others, whatever they have been doing. Being relevant, depth and diversity. In COVID, so many people were laid off. Only those people who had the depth, who had the expertise and the flexibility in their skills, they only survived. Leadership significance, this is your requirement. You are doing so many things, but you think that the promotion is the only way you will be recognized, but that is not the issue. Despite and before the promotion, actually you start feeling significant. How you how you would do that? Then you might be given several kinds of portfolio and you have learned a bit of everything. You don't know how to combine the dots, connecting the dots. That might be your that can be learned. Here you can learn when we speak to you. There is a framework that I give you. Bringing change by navigating ambiguity. There is some problems your boss saying, some problem your boss's boss saying. You are perceiving reality as something different. Now how do you solve this? This is a skill that you will get. Then choice of alternatives. You might be saying something, your colleagues might be saying something. So whatever you are saying, that is plan A. Whatever your colleague is saying, colleagues are saying, that is plan B, C, D, and all that. Suppose some emergency happens and you have to transition to another plan of action, then all these documenting all these alternatives will help you out from that emergency, right? Don't you agree with me? Then all this with who you become, that is how you will grow to the next level. Have you become the one that you expect or aspire to become? So Jack Canfield says it is not the result that is important, it is who you become in the process of achieving the result. So how you will define that? This is exactly where the problem comes. So what problems happening now? We will start with that. What are the problems happening now? If it is not happening at the workplace physically, then what problems happening, or at times it pinches you in your mind? Why do you think those are happening? And industry data says whenever you are in complaint, then you are seeking an alternative. Whenever you are seeking an alternative, you are working at 20% productivity. So the more senior you are, the more delayed your alternative will be. So during that time you will be uh, performing at 20% productivity level. What happens to your potential then in 3 to 5 years of time? And when you get back to all those, people will come up with so many of problems which are not directly related to workplace issues. So any of the workplace issues that tells about, like, say, finding more pain than pleasure, that is what your personality has become. Lack of self acceptance, fear of failure, and something else you might be saying. If you are not asking those questions to yourself, if you are not feeling like a failure right now, somebody else will tell you that tomorrow. And all that affected areas of life are your, somewhere it might be, life decisions are getting hampered, work decisions are getting hampered. You might be feeling the competition to be too intense, communication is getting affected, confidence is getting hampered, colleagues are competing against you and you are not feeling, they are not in your team, they are competing against you. Learning a skill has been very difficult because you are not able to manage time. Embarking on a big vision is a far-fetched dream now because you simply don't have time. Managing time is already a problem and consistency is the issue. So do you want a short-term solution? So any of these problems, if you ask and you want a solution for this, then that problem might be temporarily solved, but it will affect you in a long term. So what all you have tried so far, all that you need to list down, and why it didn't work out also, you have to be honest about that. Why it is beneficial to have a long term solution, any idea? So, and what, why, what are the benefits? Some of the benefits are time, you have a proven path, you can follow a proven path, you can get reputation. So what needs to be done, that is what would you would be getting in a long term solution, right? Long term means it is not about 1 year or 2 year, but you have to give yourself 90 days. Can you give that? So, and I'll give you some of the solution. You start with difference, then you prove whatever difference you have, that you are good at that, and you have to prove that time and again. That is what a resilience is. And when you are established, your resilience is established to create influence, and because of that influence you will grow it to a prominent level. And all this gets affected by your attitude, habit, action and perception. Once this is done, this is called leadership growth. You get to the next rung of the ladder, success ladder, career ladder, and then all over all these things start. You were a upcoming team lead, you became a manager. Now from the manager to senior manager, there will be another time the same journey. So how do you do that? For everyday purpose, you can ask yourself three immediate questions. First thing is, how do you perceive yourself? The second is, how do people perceive you? And the third is, how would you like people to remember you? If you ask these three questions, then you will find out some of the problems that is directly happening to you and you are not able to tell it. So one of them will be a communication problem. So and somebody will advise you to write, read, speak and listen, but what is the subject? Then somebody else will say because you are having time management problem, make a calendar and see, have a look at every day. But what will be your calendar that will be effective for you? So if you are procrastinating, then everybody will tell you take 5 small actions every day. But what do you need to achieve on everyday basis? And if you have a problem of your resume, how can you make the resume effective? If you are say laden with lot of things, 100 things on your plate, how to prioritize those three things which are 20% of your entire to-do list, which will achieve 80% of result? When you need support, how can you decide where you need support, what kind of support? If you don't be specific and crisp, it will be appear very random to anybody and everybody. They cannot figure out. If you ask that you need help, they will say what help? You need to tell them what help, right? How to integrate the subject that you are taking a class of? Suppose you are learning a new skill, communication skill for example. How to integrate that whatever you are learning to your workplace? So it is a proven journey that I am giving, and it is related to my own journey of, I always already have trained 18,000 professionals to impact 1 crore lives. And we can talk only when you are specifically interested in my journey as to what I have achieved so far and why I am in a position to tell you the this thing what I am telling you, right? So you have to be in the room to ask me specific questions. So thank you for watching. Anybody, whoever is watching this, can reach out to me with a specific requirement so that we can design the program, right? Thank you for watching, and please join my the registered link so that we can get into a webinar with a specific result. Thank you for watching. Sanjeev, you are here already? You have asked some questions. Sorry, I didn't see it. Personality traits in organization means, what do you mean? Are you there, Sanjeev? Hi, Rajesh. So what did you learn anything? Sanjeev Mishra, if you are there, what personality traits are you talking about? Can you specify so that I can give you some solution? Any organization will actually require lot many people, and everybody will have a different kind of personality. So which kind of personality trait that you are talking about? Your personality will be definitely different from other people, but that doesn't matter mean that you should be like other people. You are always you, right? So Sanjeev Mishra, if there is a question, if you can specify more, then we can talk. Why don't you register for my webinar and come there so that we can have a very detailed discussion in the Zoom call? Here in the StreamYard it is very limited, right?